Tyler, welcome to the cave. Thank you for joining me today.
Great to be here, man. Thanks for having me.
Exciting times, man. Listeners and viewers that tune in this interview, they can see you on your latest project, Wolfpack, just premiered recently at Paramount Plus. I had the opportunity to watch the first two episodes the other night, man. What a great little series so far, huh?
Yeah, dude, it's all coming out great. I'm so happy to see it all coming together. We put a lot of work into it, so
So we're gonna jump into it in a few minutes more about the show and everything. But I was doing some research on you, man. You're pretty new to the industry.
yeah. I'm pretty, as people would say, green as an actor. I've only been doing it for about 3 years, so this is definitely all really new to me, and I'm honestly surprised that I was able to, achieve this level this quickly. But I'm very passionate about it, and ever since I, discovered acting, I really just like have not been able to step aside from it. It's
Yeah.
something I work probably every day.
Well, what made you get into it? What pushed you towards this? What were the options at
Um,
first in your life before you decided to take this road?
yeah, so I was actually just, an athlete in a small town in Massachusetts. And up until like my sophomore year, that was the plan for college, I guess. I wanted to, play baseball in college, maybe do like sports and entertainment marketing, but I wasn't really like super passionate about that. I loved sports. I was really passionate about sports. And then I came out to California when I was like 16, and I tried out an acting class, just randomly through like a connection that I had out here. And, it was one of those things I literally just fell in love with right away. The switch in my brain just flipped, and all of a sudden I was like, I want to be an actor. So now we're here.
Right. What was your parents' reaction when you told you're doing this?
Um, I think at first they were a little like, all right, like, the Hollywood lifestyle is kind of, dangerous. They hadn't really known a lot about
Hmm.
it. But you only hear like stories that you see on like the news and stuff like that. It's all like scary, but they didn't understand fully, but they were willing to give me like the opportunity and the chance.
Hmm.
And after they saw that like I was taking it seriously and like auditions were coming in and that it was actually like a possibility and it was something that made me really happy. They were like fully on board. In fact,
Hmm.
probably a year and a half into doing it, I moved out to California. And then like 6 months later, they moved out to California. So now we're all
Uh,
out.
it's awesome. Do you feel like a lot of pressure on you now for getting like a big role like this?
Yeah, definitely. I think as an actor, as an artist, you want people to appreciate your work, but
Hmm.
unfortunately, you can't please everyone. Someone's always going to be like, "Oh, you could have done that better. You should have done it this way. Why is he doing this and not this person?" So, as much as it does put pressure, I kind of have realized pretty quickly that like I'm not going to be able to please everyone, and
Hmm.
I just enjoy it for like the craft and the art. And
Hmm.
as long as I stay true to myself with that, the pressure sort of like goes away.
Yeah. And what a good way to get your career to take off even more with being on a project like this.
Oh my God, right? Like I mean, it's every actor's dream, honestly, especially an aspiring actor who hasn't really done a lot of work. And it
Hmm.
was something that I didn't really think was possible, especially for someone like me who didn't really have like a resume. But Jeff is an opportunity maker, and he really just had faith in me. And, he gave me the chance. He saw something in me that I could bring to the table to tell the story. And, I saw that as like, oh my God, this is my chance. So I didn't need like foot probably went harder on the gas after that. I was like, I need to read more books and watch more movies and videos and go to more classes. And
Yeah.
I'm still doing that.
Uh, Speaking of Jeff, man, he's created some pretty awesome world, I would say. He started off with Teen Wolf, then he brought us a Teen Wolf movie, and now, of course, Wolfpack. How does it feel to be part of this world?
I've probably said this way too much. It feels literally like being a superhero. Being in like a realm that has such a large following and such an
Yeah.
appreciation, and also just such a cool like aspect to it. I love supernatural, and to be able to like join that, I mean, it's literally like winning the lottery. So I just feel blessed, like eternally grateful for this.
Mm. Speaking of joining, how were your approach for the series? Tell us about your audition. I'm kind of curious. I did read somewhere that you went for the Teen Wolf movie at first, right?
I did. I got the Teen Wolf movie, and I was like, oh my God, this is insane. Like Jeff Davis, Teen Wolf, I can't believe this. And then like 2 hours later, I got the audition for Wolfpack, and I was like,
Wow.
this like a spinoff or like I didn't know what it was, but I also saw Jeff Davis was tied to it. And then, you know, I got called back for both. So I was like, okay, Jeff is clearly showing some interest to me. And, then obviously Teen Wolf didn't go any farther, but Wolfpack, kept increasing up until I did a chemistry read with Chloe, who
Mm.
also plays my sister. And as much as it all feels like it happened so fast, it was like a month-long process. It was definitely a grind for sure. Like they made sure that we were, like capable of this. But yeah, it feels like yesterday. I can't believe we already like shot the entire first season and stuff. It's really
Right.
weird.
And I'm sure you weren't sad that you didn't get the Teen Wolf because you got this one, which is probably even bigger for you.
Oh yeah, I mean, I was a really big Teen Wolf fan. So at first, when they were like, it's not going any further on Teen Wolf, I was like, oh man, that would have been like crazy. And then I
Yeah.
was like, I have an opportunity now to like make my own world out of this. Like I can base
Right.
this fresh start. So I saw that as like, a huge opportunity, and instantly like I was not upset
Mm.
anymore.
And a lot of like listeners and viewers, like if they follow the like Teen Wolf Wolfpack, this is not a spin-off. People think it's a spin-off.
Yeah, I can understand why people think it's a spinoff. I mean, it's same concept, werewolves, and
Yeah.
they've been pushing it along with the release of the Teen Wolf movie just because we happen to finish both at the same time.
Yeah.
But it's a completely different universe. The rules are completely different. There's no character crossovers,
Mm.
anything like that. But I know that the Teen Wolf people want it to be like that. It would be fun for them. But I think once they get acclimated with our new characters, they're going to appreciate the show for its own thing.
What do you think makes this show like so special too? Like what it's been so far with the review, the like your family telling you about this, friends. What's been their reaction?
Um, one thing is definitely the cinematography. Those cameramen are just amazing. They showed up every day with just like the most incredible ideas, even of their own sometimes. They'd be like, hold on, I want to try this. And it was just like insane, some of the shots they were doing. And then, we would see like certain playback, and I was like, if this comes together right, this is gonna, look amazing. And so far it looks absolutely incredible. But also I think the new characters that it's bringing, I think Jeff didn't want to just go like mainstream route with it. He wanted to introduce like very strong and like very front forward characters that people could like relate to or feel inspired by, and they're all different, which
Mm.
is fun how they all like meet up together at the end of the first episode, because you would never expect these four people to ever sort of come in contact with each other.
Right.
And obviously also Sarah Michelle Gellar and Rodrigo Santoro, like come on.
It's a dream come true for you, pretty much.
Yeah, it honestly like doesn't even, I was like what next? Like is Brad Pitt gonna join this cast next? Like I literally couldn't think of any better possible outcome than like Buffy the Vampire Slayer
Hmm.
coming back, another supernatural series. It
Right, right.
doesn't feel real.
What can you tell us about your role now as Harlan? Like, how do you describe this character?
Harlan is a very he's a very confident kid, and he sort of is the one who's like careless. Sort of acts like nothing's a big deal, nothing phases him. He's fearless, but I think there's this undertone that people are gonna pick up on very quickly. Like, is this just like a front that he's putting on? Like, is
Hmm.
there a deeper underlying issue? And even through the first episode, you can sort of, with some of those lines, see that I mean, they don't, like him and Luna don't have parents that, at least that they know. Like,
Right.
they're adopted by Garrett, and he's sort of just on his own in a sense. And it's really sad because Luna really wants to have like this, like strong relationship with him, and he's not accepting it because he's trying to search for like something deeper, even though he has a loving and caring family right in front of him.
Yeah.
So I think it's just problems that he's not coming face to face with. But at the same time, I think that's the beautiful relation that people in the real world can relate with, like,
Yeah.
wow, maybe I'm doing that as well. Like maybe I'm pushing away my problems just to act like I'm not phased by anything.
The
But
show, the show is based off some books. Is your character in the books at all? Because I know nothing about the books.
um yeah, his there is a character, Harlan Brock, actually,
Okay.
like the last name and stuff like that. But it's sort of loosely based,
Okay.
I guess, just because like I read the book as soon as we booked it, because I wasn't sure if it was literally going to be like chapter for chapter, like
Right.
this is. But Jeff definitely put his own spin on it, and I I just admire Jeff so much. He's such a creative guy, and I think the more episodes we got, the more he was just like having fun with it at that point. Like he was just
Mm.
like pulling things left and right that we were like, oh my god, like I couldn't even have thought of that. Like so it does have relation to the book, but the character's not like exactly based off of
Mm.
Arlen that you would read in Wolfpack.
Did that make it easier now for you to play this character because of that?
Um, Honestly, no. I think there was a lot of figuring out that I had to do with this character. It was a lot of
Yeah.
like back and forth with Jeff, like just being curious, asking him questions. And I would say up until like episode 3 is when I was like, okay, I have like a complete understanding of this character now. But
Mm.
even shooting the first few episodes, I was just sort of like, huh, I wonder how he feels about this, or I wonder, how he would react to that. But, as you read more and you shoot more and you see how the other characters interact, you sort of just like figure it out on your own.
Mm. How many episodes are we expecting the first season? 10?
8.
Oh, 8. Wow.
It cut it down just because we were taking pretty long to shoot each episode because they were just, it was turning into like full films at that point.
Yeah.
Just like everything coming together. But I mean, if we end up doing a season 2, um, fingers crossed, then I hope that we would do like 10 or maybe even more episodes.
Mm.
But right now, just season 1 is 8.
Yeah. And right now, Jeff is already writing. He's already writing for season 2. He's got
Oh,
ideas.
I'm sure. I mean, Jeff Jeff has a really big reputation, especially with the supernatural world. And I mean, based off of the feedback I've been getting off the first episode, like people are really enjoying it. So I
Mm.
think, and the episodes only get better. You said that you saw it 1 and 2.
Yeah.
Wait until 3 and 4 or 5 and 6. Like it gets really good. Like everything starts really coming together. The characters have very strong, like character arcs and depths, and I think it'll just be enjoyable for
You
everyone.
mentioned you mentioned the characters. How is it working with the cast now? Did you guys, from what I've seen so far, it kind of looks like you guys became like a family group, pretty much.
Yeah, we actually all just became like really good friends. When the weekends come around, I still text them to this day, like,
Mm.
hey, what are we doing this weekend? We all just created like that family like bond that I'm sure any cast would dream of.
Yeah.
But unfortunately, sometimes it just doesn't happen like that. Some people are just there for the work, and some people are there for the experience. But it was funny because every single person was like there for both,
Mm.
and we all just like became so close with each other, like right off the bat.
It's amazing. So we have Wolfpack on Paramount Plus. Drops weekly now, right? They're not dropping multiple episodes at once, right?
No, I wish, but just once a week right now.
That's right. Tyler, let's end this by how can the listeners and viewers find you on social media?
Instagram, Tyler Lawrence Gray. Twitter, Tyler Lawrence G, I think, and TikTok also Tyler Lawrence Gray. I don't have like Facebook or anything, but just those 3. You can find
Yeah.
me on there.
Find you on there. Hopefully, a couple of weeks we'll hear about a season 2. You never know. Tyler, I want to thank you for giving me a few minutes today. This was
Yeah.
great.
Thank you, man. It was great
Thank you.
being on here.